What's up guys, Davis here, and today I'll be doing my full review of the new Tecno Pop 7 Pro right here. So this video is going to be in the format of pros and cons as always. Yeah, talking about the things I like and the things I don't really like about the phone in my time using it. I've been using it for about 2 days now, and yeah, testing it fully. And yeah, I'm going to be telling you guys what I consider my pros and cons, right? So without wasting any more time, let's get into the pros. The first pro for me is the cameras. So the cameras are decent for the price of this phone. I think it's around $100, and I think the cameras are decent. Yeah, you can record 1080p video on both sides, back and front. Yeah, that's really nice. The other pro for me is the display here, 720p, and 6.6 inches. Yeah, so it's a relatively big display, and also 720p, so it's not as sharp, but I think at this price point it's a really okay display. IPS LCD, not AMOLED obviously. Yeah, so I think the display is good for the price. I haven't really had issues with it. In my time using it, decently bright for the price point. Yeah, so the other thing that I really like among the pros is the design of this phone. I like the fact that it has these flat edges, it gives you a place to grip when you're using the device. And I also like this silver accenting they put around the fingerprint scanner and the flash. Really makes the device look classy even at this entry price point. Yeah, so generally I love the design of this phone, and I think most people also love it, right? So the other thing that I like about the phone is the battery life. The battery life is really good with this 5000 mAh battery. I haven't had issues with battery. Yeah, the battery life is really okay. And the other pro for me is the price. I think around $100 for what you get. I think it's a really okay package. And I think it's obviously the fingerprint scanner, but I think at this point it's no longer a feature really. Almost every single phone has a fingerprint scanner. But yeah, this one is at the back, and that's one of also the pros that are the things that I really like about this phone. The fingerprint scanner is really okay and good. So moving on to the things that I really like, the cons. Yeah, and this one really has a lot of them. Usually I review phones and have only one or two cons, but for this one I think I have a pile, right? So starting off with the software. I think the software on here is not really good for me. I feel like you have a lot of bloatware, you have a lot of pop-ups all the time, so the software experience is not really going to be the best for most people. Yeah, and then I think that I usually like is the RAM management on here. So if you open like these two games, Temple Run and eFootball, you will notice that it dramatically affects the performance of the device, and you will not actually be able. Once I open eFootball, I will not be able to go back to Temple Run and find it open. I'll have to restart it. Yeah, so the RAM is not really the best. It's not really optimized. Though they say you can use this memory fusion, which adds like maybe 3 GB of virtual memory. I think that the RAM management on here is not really the best. Yeah, in my experience anyway, testing the phone, I feel like the RAM management is not the best. Yeah, so that's one of the other cons. And then the speaker, the mono speaker that you have on here is also not that loud. Yeah, sounds tinny, and you don't have that much bass, and you definitely don't have stereo speakers. Yeah, the speaker is not really the best, so I consider it a con in my view. And then one of the biggest cons for me is the charging time on this phone. Even it has 10 watts and charges at 10 watts, and it has a 5000 mAh battery. I think the charging time is really, really terrible, and I think it's almost bad enough for me to consider it a deal breaker. Yeah, the way these phones charge, they take really long, almost 3 hours. I think it's the same thing as you had on this Pack 9. Yeah, so the charging speed is really terrible for me. It takes a long time. Anyway, for some people, you will not even notice that because you charge overnight. If you charge overnight, it won't be a problem. But if you're a person who uses your phone a lot, to the point that maybe sometime during the day you need to top up, you will really notice how slow this charging is on this phone. It's capped at 10 watts, and I think that's really terrible for 2023. 15 watts charging has become the norm for most entry phones at this point, but 10 watts is really terrible, especially for such a big battery. 15 watts, the 5000 mAh battery. Yeah, it's going to take forever to charge. Yeah, and the other thing that I don't really like about this phone is the haptics. Not like I expected the best, but they're really terrible on here. It feels like hollow. Thing vibrating. It's not really that good on here. And the last thing I'll talk about among the cons is the performance. So the performance on here is not really that good. Yeah, I was playing Temple Run, and it's also you can notice some jitters every now and then, and not many phones I've used that struggle with Temple Run. This phone kind of does. Yeah, so that's a big con. When you're buying this phone, beware that the performance is not really the best. Not like you'll be expecting the best at this price point, but the performance is not really good. and RAM management as well, not the best. But generally, I'll say that it's a good phone for a person maybe who just needs a phone for calls and stuff like that. You got your dual SIMs and expandable storage. You just want to store files or something like that. Yeah, but for a person who wants to play games and do some heavy tasks, this is not the phone for you. Yeah, so yeah, that's generally what I'll say about the new Tecno Pop 7 Pro. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.